Cornucopias is a cutting-edge open-world MMO set in a world where humanity has ascended from the Earth's surface and created a breathtaking new world in the sky. This fantastical realm is a system of floating islands carved from the land we once called home, now encased in radically advanced dome-shaped structures suspended high above the clouds. Each one is a futuristic marvel with its own unique environment, identity, and thriving communities. It is within these domes the epic journey begins. Here, players take control of their own personal avatar, which gives them the freedom to choose their destiny. Be immersed in vast landscapes, explore vibrant settlements, and engage in a myriad of activities such as crafting, commerce, combat, racing, and more. Welcome to a world where the sky is no longer the limit.
Hey everybody, welcome to Copi Cafe episode 83. Got Rob Greig here and Josh Jones, and we're excited. It's going to be a fun episode. It's going to be quick. We got a special guest that's been on the show before, but he hasn't been on in quite a while, and so it's going to be fun to talk to him. Episode, what do we have coming up? We're going to talk a little bit about the new release, the inventory system. Many of you are aware of that. What's coming up next month? We'll talk a little about that. We've had a significant amount of team growth that we'll run through. Little update on the tokenomics paper and then also the nodes. So fun stuff ahead. Rob, what are you drinking?
Indeed, our first video of March 2024. I've got a Juice Burst.
Ooh, Juice Burst.
I don't have a glass, so you're going to have to see me. What are you drinking, Josh?
Well, I think I could offer you my entire crypto portfolio if you were to guess what I'm drinking.
Oh, your entire crypto? Usually just stop. Does that include the coins or just names of them?
Everything.
Right. Well, in that case, I'm going to say you're going for a Blue Wicked.
No, but it's a probiotic.
Oh.
Fancy probiotic drink. Probiotic soda from grocery store, Whole Foods or something.
One day I'm going to find out what you're drinking.
It's I can't keep making this offer. You'll hire spies.
Well, this segment is refreshingly no nonsense.
Absolutely. These are our sponsors of this episode. We thank you very much for your generous contributions. Just kidding. We don't have any sponsors. Okay, here we go. The new release, man, the inventory system. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we got it out a little bit earlier than we wanted to, really, because some of our devs were going on holiday, and we wanted to meet our commitment to having a build out every month. So there's one or two more bugs that we knew about, we just didn't have time to fix. But apart from that, I think it's an absolute massive release. The community have been playing it. It sets down the inventory system, which is going to be at the heart of our game. When you're running around and you're gathering stuff and you're doing quests and you're moving things from one area to the other, everything that you need will probably be going via the inventory system. Whether it's on the character, whether it's on the backpack. In the future, mounts will increase your inventory. We will have inventory systems that you'll be able to drop your items off within your home spaces, and we will have ways of transport as well that will have them. So they all start on this system. Mm-hmm. I think it's a very good start. It gives you an idea of what we're doing. It's not like a usual one where you have individual slots. Each item can take more than one slot, so you have to be really careful about how you're doing your management. In the future, some things will stack. definitely. Like I say, this is very, very early. And you will also be able to rotate some of the items, because I've seen a few people asking about those. So we do know what's lacking within the current system, but it is very, very first look.
Yeah, it's a great new release. I think that
great.
covered it. I don't have anything to add. I think it's going to be awesome. We've got bigger vision for it. It'll grow over time, as with everything. We start off somewhat simply, and then we continue to add and iterate and improve, get feedback from the community. We always love to involve you guys. So thanks for checking that out and testing it. I know we had a lot of people in there playing, so that's great. Next up is the character creator or the avatar creator. We had a conversation with Jim this morning on that, and I'm excited. I think we're going to have that to internal testing. It's a little bit delayed, but it doesn't mean it's going to delay our delivery this month. I don't think it is. It sounds like things are going well. We're going to have it in our hands for testing in 8 to 10 days, I believe. Now, we don't want to make promises on deliveries because, let's be realistic here. A lot of this stuff is incredibly complicated. For example, with this avatar creator, they've built in 300 different unique sliders. Whether we start with that number is a different story. We might start with quite a bit less so that we can test and debug and improve and then add gradually over time. But I'm pretty pumped about it. Sounds like Jim's doing a great job and the team are really coming together on that well.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to start off with about 50, maybe 50 or 60 sliders. And yeah, they will increase over the different releases. So this is going to be release 3. So again, this is massive. So once you've created your character, that'll be, no longer using the preset avatars. Although in the future, you will be able to start, I believe, with one of the presets and then change it from there. But yeah, Jim was giving us a bit of a behind the scenes look of how they create that and how the bodies will be able to morph and go forward, and some of the techniques and some of the tools that they were using. And it was really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's important for everybody to know how significant of a task this is. The complexities with the bones, the meshes, the animations, the clothing that you add on top, all of these different layers, then being able to have all these different morphs and changing the body shape and all of the above, I think is going to be, it's a huge task, and we have the right people on it. It's great that we've been able to reduce some of the complexity by having absolute experts in the area, Jim being one of them, really leading the charge with this. So I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, because it's, having the sliders, making the body wider or taller is one thing, but then you also have to do that for all the outfits that they have as well. So the outfits have to stretch, and then you get different shadows and different lighting and how it falls on the body. So it's going to be a bit of a mammoth task to test all those. I know most people will just put it to the extremes and just see what kind of a strange looking character you can get. But yeah, that's,
if you have, let's say you have 50 sliders on the face, that creates millions of variables.
Yes,
that need to be tested. We're not going to test millions of variables before the release. So this is going to be a gradual iteration where we utilize feedback from you guys, where we try to test it as much as we can prior to and resolve a bulk of the issues, and then just gradually improve. All right, next up is the new hires. We have a good list of new hires. You want to walk us through that, Rob?
Yeah, so some of these hires are last month and this month, and we've mentioned it a few times, but I think they are that significant that we should talk about what the people that we've taken on and the caliber. Yeah. So we've taken on a back end developer who's working his way with the back end, creating some APIs, and with the Unreal Engine server. So getting right under the hood, because as everybody knows at the moment, everything that we're saving is local to the PC. So you can go and delete those files and come back. So in the future, all that will happen on the server. So the client will just kind of do animations and do stuff like that. But everything that actually happens, the saving and all the achievements, actually will happen on the server. So you're actually playing on the client and the server at the same time. And why that's important is because people can get a hold of the client and they can hack it and they can do a man in the middle and all that kind of stuff. Well, you can't do that because actually all the things happening on the server. The server is talking to the database via APIs, and the client really is a mass. So back-end developer, really, really important to join our other multiplayer team.
Yep.
We've then took on 3 junior environmental artists, because we're now at the part where we've got everything we do and we know all our processes. We now need content. So more and more content, so background content, props, all those kind of stuff.
This speeds up the land development and release.
Yeah.
So this is specifically brought on for props and land environment to scale that out because of what you said, that we have the workflows. Okay.
And if you bring them on too soon, you've got too many people to train up. So it's the right time to build that on now. Now we're speed tracking, and we're going to get Solace 1 is going to come out to the public, not this release, but next release. Then Solace 2 is quite possibly going to be the release after. Then Solace 3. Then we'll do the amazing land grab. Then we will do Esperanza 1, 2, and 3. Plus we'll do the sector homes. All that is coming this year. I don't know about the sector homes, but definitely all those 9 8-kilometer by 8 kilometers worlds, they're all coming this year. So that's a lot of work, a lot of deliverables. There is going to be tons and tons of content and things to do. So those will help with that. We've also taken on a senior game systems programmer. He's going to help to come in and do some of our systems, whether it'll help with the AI systems, with the NPC movements, some of the gaming functions like the mining, the fishing, some of those mechanics. I don't know what he's going to be working on. Dave's got a plan for him. He will. Yeah. He's got to hit the ground running, which he has done, because there's tons and tons to do. We've taken on 2 new quality assurance people, both from the community. One is a mod, and the other one is from the community. And we have plans on taking 2 more very soon in the future. Plus, then we will look at some other community members. So testing has really been ramped up as we're getting Solace, because it takes probably about 10 man hours to test the whole of to do one kind of pass, but we need to do about 10 to 15 different passes just on Solace 1. We've got 9 huge worlds to do as well, so we need lots and lots of testers. And we've just taken on another HR lady who's going to look after the UK side, because we have Cynthia who looks after the American side and some of Europe, but now that the team's grown, we've got a UK one as well, which is good because there's different laws obviously in the different countries. And yeah, so in total we have 42 internal people working for us now, for full-time people, including contractors. That means that there's close to, if not over 60 people working on Cornucopias now, which is an incredible growth in 2.5 years. And there's a few people on holiday, but this Tuesday's meeting, one of the highlights was having 35 people in that Tuesday meeting.
We're going to need a new tech for that soon.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was good to have everybody
amazing.
in, and it is a fast growing team. And I would love to slow it down, to be honest. But the reality is we're in a position where we're prepared with HR processes. We're prepared with the workflows to build out. We could add another 6 junior environment artists fairly easily over the next couple of months to really accelerate certain things. So we're at that place where the core game loop is coming together enough to where we can start to build out specialized teams. So that's what we will do. You never want to grow too fast, but we're in a good position now where we can, and that can accelerate certain things that we're trying to deliver on. Hopefully that's the ideal.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up is the tokenomics paper. We're really close to having that ready to release, so keep your eyes peeled for that. It's definitely in the very near future, and it's incredibly solid. So I don't know that we're releasing a paper. It's more of a 2-pager or a diagram with some context, but it's going to It's going to give you a good picture of the flow of everything, the macro economy, so to speak. It's not getting into the micro elements of in-game transfer of, mined assets and things like that as much. But I'm very excited to get that out. So
yeah, and I know we've been saying for a long time, we're close on delivering this paper, and we are very close. But we obviously needed to understand the Unreal Engine stuff. We needed to do some tests. We needed to pass it off by our professional team that are looking into this. We've had a few tweaks as we've got some more information, and we've got some other ideas, how to include some of the nodes and some of the other stuff that's coming in the future, some of the things that we will announce in the future. And so now we have every element that we want. We're close to delivery. When you only get one chance to deliver it, so when we deliver it, I think it's going to be on fire.
And there's zero problem with taking a while to deliver this. It's not ready. We're not ready to implement anything. Furthermore, it's so incredibly complicated. We've already had 2 different specialists working on it. We've got Machinations partnership there. We've got our tokenomics expert, the analyst, the mathematician that helped us in planning. And furthermore, we're going to be bringing on somebody as well for the micro economy within the game. And so advisors are helpful with something so incredibly complicated that it's got a lot of variables and you're going to mess things up. So we want to be as wise as we can about how we approach it. So exciting that we're getting near the finish line there.
And over the last year as well, regulations are changing, especially in the crypto world. So we've had to take all those on board as well. You have to be careful with the timing of things, how the space is evolving really, really fast. But we're very, very close. I know we've said that before, but it will happen.
Nodes update. And, I've heard comments in the community occasionally around promises, roadmap, et cetera. I think we've done a pretty darn good job overall. But the reality is, folks, you try to set an aggressive timeline so that you can put everybody under pressure, that we're all really, really working hard towards a goal. And you're going to miss. There's complications. This is the way that it works. And so overall, I think we've done a great job of delivery. That's why we've built up a trusting community for the most part. But we do occasionally have people griping about X, Y, and Z. It's funny to me, but that's okay.
No, it's crazy because you go, oh, look, I did this screenshot here and you didn't do these 4 things. What they don't do is they don't look at the screenshot now and see, okay, some of those things missed. Look at these 12 other things that we delivered in its place alongside. We never stopped. We delivered other stuff. The mining, the mining was so complicated, and we delivered that for when we went over to the conference. So the
reality is, there's so much we could explain to you guys. That would give you. I wish we had the time to explain the massive amount of things that are in the works and or that have been built in addition to other things that were on the roadmap. It's unbelievable. But we only have so much time, and I got to move on from this section. Okay, the nodes update. So we brought on a incredibly qualified developer for the nodes. And since he's been brought on, you, Jeff, and him have been working back and forth on just the planning of what's going to be done. But he's put together a doc, which is quite remarkable. I read through a lot of it, but I didn't have time to read through all of it because I think it was about 50 pages of planning with code snippets, the exact architecture, everything. I'm incredibly impressed. And now that planning is done, I believe he can hit the ground running full speed, and it's going to be a pretty fast development process. But
we're working on the terminology as well to fit it in. So we'll have what's called pools, where people can delegate their node licenses to the pool. So not everybody has to run their own. So we're going to have VPS and so all the terminology we're going to release really soon. VPSs, I think, are definitely going to happen now that we've looked at this new way. I think they'll be incredibly affordable, but we also have other ways that we're putting those within our economy paper that I'd like to tell you here, but we'll save it for very, very soon. But that is going to be such an exciting space. And not only that, those nodes then are going to be something that we are going to build on in the future, that's built into this base product to expand the whole nodes. It's just going to expand over the years. Let's just say that, and I think it's going to be really, really incredible what comes out of just that project in itself, and not just for our project. Agreed.
So, final note: if you haven't yet participated in the nodes, just go to our website, cornucopias.io, click on Marketplace, and currently the base layer 2 node sale is going. Very soon we're going to have a base and Cardano node sale going. So those will come in the form of a delivered NFT by no later than July 1st. So that's what's up with the nodes, and I'm very excited now to move on to the next stage of this episode of Copi Cafe. Let's bring up Matt. Matt, welcome. Welcome to Copi Cafe.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you just fine.
Perfect.
How you doing, sir?
Doing great.
More importantly, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking, let's see if it works this time, Mountain Valley Spring Water.
All right.
Home from Arkansas.
Yeah, from Arkansas, all the way from Arkansas.
Yeah.
Shipping water must be expensive. It's not exactly light.
Yeah, especially when it's in a glass bottle. I should probably.
Okay.
Well, it's better than plastic.
Well, you are. Let's go into, before we get into your new role, ETH Denver. You are in Denver, and we were able to you, Jeff, and Ben, and got to put on a show at ETH Denver with our little arcade station. What were your thoughts on the conference?
Yeah, I mean. It was awesome to hear back from ETH Denver, and the fact that we were able to get, two days in of demo time, which was completely free. So the grassroots marketing there was amazing. Like, we got to see real feedback from people that have never heard about our game. And yeah, I mean, the vibe around Web3 gaming was strong. We saw industry people, we saw gaming enthusiasts, just everybody under the sun within the crypto community was stopping by, checking out what we were doing. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it was a pretty active ecosystem, even at this stage of the cycle, when retail is not really catching on too much just yet. And so to have that many people there was pretty impressive. It was a well-run conference. So I'm thankful to ETH Denver for letting us grab a booth. Apparently they had 238 different games that they looked at, and they picked us. And so that's pretty awesome that they gave us that spot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get you some questions. Oh,
that also was part of we've got this marketing group now, Washman's. And that was one of the events. They list. We have a weekly meeting with them, and they list out the upcoming events. There's like 30 odd during the year, and they say, well, you need to go to this one, maybe go to Paris, maybe New York, maybe Consensus. So they're pinpointing the ones that we go on. So they recommended us to go to ETH Denver. They have contacts there as well. Did you guys get to meet them? I forgot to ask you that.
Yeah, we met a few members of their team.
One of them.
Yeah.
One of the Casey, she got the flu, but one of their another member of their team, Hugh, I think, came by the booth. I wasn't at the booth when he came by, but yeah, and they'll be very helpful moving forward at other events and conferences as well. So Matt, what do you think?
They've helped us do a number of articles, haven't they, already? There's over a dozen articles that we put together. We've been on a couple of podcasts. That's going to ramp up throughout the year. Consensus, I think, is going to be our next biggest event. I'm coming over as well, so I'll be able
that'll
to
be fun one.
pop over like we did a few years ago, and that'll be fun.
They're great. So what are you most excited about? I, I guess I reached out to you a couple of months ago, somewhere around there, knowing that we have a weakness in marketing leadership, really, and we needed to get that accelerated. We've known this for quite a while, but to be quite honest, it doesn't make a ton of sense to put insane energy into marketing in a hardcore bear cycle. There's little ROI or result there because nobody's really listening. You don't speak real loud and talk as much as you can to an audience that's not there. Now, obviously, you guys, our loyal community, have been there paying attention and staying involved. But like in terms of trying to capture new audience, it's not the most effective time. We made that switch. We added you as the marketing director. You were excited about the role. Tell me why you were excited about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, my past experiences in aside from photography, I basically ran a media company that was central to, digital advertising, digital marketing, branding, and my expertise from the graphic and branding side and digital marketing, it made sense for me to move forward with this role, just because aside from that, I'm also a lifelong gamer who's just been playing a ton of games my whole life, whether it's a first person shooter or, larger world games. And then take that with my crypto experience since 2017. It's just all a confluence of knowledge that I've gathered. And
furthermore, Cornucopias, you started off the Cornucopias community within Discord and really helped to cultivate that organic community. So you've been listening and you're well versed in Cornucopias stuff.
Yeah. And this is all stuff that I've just kind of paid attention to through past cycles, like not to go too into the weeds about community building, but I mean, I saw so many projects make the mistake of getting essentially fake communities through false incentive. Like you create a good, solid foundation with organic word of mouth community. You have them as a backbone to move your brand forward. So we did that really well compared to a lot of projects. So the next step is, now that we're sort of expanding to the multi-chain vision, is to now broaden our reach to the masses. So,
yeah. Rob, feel free to chime in with any questions you have as well. I just
people have seen the impact already. I think you introduced the corn points, the original one. It was just under a year ago, and now that's evolved again into now rewarding people for I think originally, actually, you also did have a similar one where it was YouTube and Twitter creating things, but this latest one, yeah, I mean, I've had about 3 or 4 different people that have contacted me in the last few days saying what a massive impact that's had. I know Fareed.
The Engage bot.
The community is lighting up our influencers' spaces. Almost to 50% of the comments on Twitter and on YouTube. And they're really seeing the effect on that. So that then has the effect. Well, you know what? I'll go and make some more Cornucopias videos because this gets me high engagement and it helps to grow my channel. So we're all growing together. So I think,
for sure.
I mean, that's something that you just put in place within less than a week, and it's had a massive impact already.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the start of it. We're going to start opening up the bots marketplace. You could essentially, purchase prizes with your points. So
nice.
Just, one more little thing to sprinkle into the community for fun.
Yeah. Well, we have a massive amount of things that we have to execute on to really market effectively and at scale. But what are the challenges that you see right now?
So coming to this position, roughly 3 weeks ago. The first part of the process for me was getting, the foundational processes in place, meeting with all of the team members on our one-on-ones, figuring out their strengths. And now I'm at a point to where I have a handle on all that, and I can start delegating whatever task I need done, whether it's art, whether it's research, strategy, what have you. I know who to lean on. And to be more specific, I think the biggest bottleneck for us moving forward is having an infinite pool of content to pull from and create that content in a visually impactful way. So one of the things I'm really pushing forward with on the art side is to create visually impactful, social assets that are animated that will draw in the eye. So, this is, of course, with the effort of speaking to the Web3 audience. We've said this many times that we're not targeting, mainstream gamers. Now that we are on Ethereum, or Base to be more specific, I want us to be a household name, just like Star Atlas, just like Illuvium, Parallel, all these household names. We deserve to be there. And we have a plan now to get to that point.
Okay, so you answered like 3 different questions on top of the challenges question.
Yeah, sorry. If we can dive into more detail.
So your goals, let's talk about your goals. What are your goals? Or what's your primary goal? Is household name?
Yes, so primary goal is to be a household name. Like if we can reach that level, then I will consider my job a success, because if everybody knows about us, then
and he means in the crypto, in Web3.
Correct,
so household
yes.
name in Web3, meaning pretty much everyone in Web3 has heard the name, and that's not the case currently. So that's a big task, and I think that's a great goal. So what are the tactics that you and I have discussed over the past month or so that you're going to be implementing and moving forward to make that happen?
Yeah, so there's quite a few. I don't know if
There's 5 basic ones, but let's
yeah,
just go through the 5.
I'm trying to think if I should go in order, but
about 30. Overall,
yeah, exactly. So this is totally out of order, but I'll start with the acceleration of releasing our lore, and that's going to be through a fun and interactive medium. And for me, this creates a level of attachment to our game that hasn't been really implemented yet. It'll create hype. It'll create content that is shareable. And obviously, once we have the full plan in place, we will announce all that information. But that's a big one for me. Next is messaging framework. I've been working on this. This is a pretty key element in simply effectively and impactfully communicating what our game is about. So whether it's writing a description on a Twitter post, or if it's speaking in a Twitter space, or if it's going external and providing proper messaging for our influencer network.
Yeah.
All of this is very important to make sure that it's consistent and that it's accurate and that it's impactful. So
this would involve personas, which you've already had done. Personas really help you to identify a person and how they would be speak to, and where you're going to reach them, and all sorts of things, and what's their language, all of that. But the other element would be a copy style guide, and then in addition to what we just talked about in our recent meeting on this, all the whats and the hows of communicating. So, what are our 3 key differentiators? how do we describe our game in a similar way so that we have a consistent story going out. So, and then you also talked about in that meeting how we would share that in different areas so that the influencers have access to it, so that the community has access to it, so that Walksman has access to it. So this improves the consistency of messaging around who we are and what we're doing.
Yeah, it's essentially like a Bible of critical need to know information that is strategically written to be impactful and efficient. So, because realistically, like, the complexity of our game is so difficult to describe in a short description. It's so difficult. So
It's a large vision.
Yes, and it's something that we're working on, and we're going to nail that down and get it out to the masses. So,
yep. Okay. What's up next? 3 more to go.
So, another key one is we have been discussing. Actually, this is from a contact at ETH Denver. We've been discussing bringing on a super reputable marketing agency that has worked with a ton of both Web3 and Web2 games. So we will, of course, announce more information on that when that becomes official, but it's a huge, huge tool in the toolbox to have. And then let's see.
Yeah, I was very impressed with them. I'll just comment in on that real quick before you move on to the next session. That would be primarily utilized for paid media. So any paid channels that we're trying to reach, it really makes sense to have an agency with niche specialists in each of those channels to help utilize all the different feature sets that Twitter has, for example, or YouTube or Twitch, so we'll be utilizing an agency there. And I think they definitely have an excellent name and track record. So I'm excited to get that going. But yeah, in marketing, you have 3 types of media. You've got owned media, so your website, your community, Discord, Chatter, your social sites, and then you've got your blog, but then you have paid media. And so we're going to go with the agency route for most of the paid media. Doesn't necessarily mean all of it. And then, and then you have earned media, which Walksman is very much about helping us to increase our earned media, meaning they're getting us opportunities for interviews and things like that aren't paid. It's just, hey, we just earned a opportunity for an interview with XYZ or whatever. So this really handles one of those elements quite well for us and keeps the team focused on creating really quality content and moving forward with empowering the community and our messaging and all of that. So it's great. Okay, what's next?
Well, and just a little bit more on that too is on, as we gather data and see, where we're reaching people, I also want to get in place both posts and paid ads in other languages so we can effectively reach people that don't speak English, because a large market in gaming is Asia, and there's actually a ton of people in Africa too. It's like we're missing a huge opportunity to speak to those people that don't understand what a picture says in English. So that's obviously, a little bit further down the road, but it's worth noting.
Okay, next up.
So next up, a big one is our influencer network. So we have been working tirelessly on an onboarding process that is very efficient, and it brings people on board so we can give them a tour of the game, explain the vision, make sure that they're saying cornucopias, not cornucopia, saying Copi instead of copy. All these little things that are a big deal. We're handling that in a strategic way so that there's consistent messaging. And then one super cool thing that we are going to be bringing out is the affiliate link that we are going to provide through, I believe, the the player account, if I'm not mistaken, to where influencers can apply. They will get a opportunity to create an affiliate link, and then through that link, they can share that through whichever channels they want, and we will essentially provide payment in stablecoin, I believe, for a percentage of the revenue that they bring us. So it's a huge incentive for content creators. And then at the point at which this is a fully automated stage and there's really no bottleneck left for the team, I think we would probably open it up to the rest of the community to where, a guy that has been building relationships in gaming for, 20 years can go to his Discord and say, hey guys, come check out Cornucopias. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And he's going to be, earning revenue on what they purchase. So.
Yeah. So to sum all that up, and that'll be if the operational burden, if we can, in this pilot of a test with the influencers, if the operational burden is small enough, we'll open it up to community. We just need to make sure that we can effectively execute on that. But the idea there is, as we were talking about how I really wanted to move forward our influencer network, we needed, even I experienced multiple times trying to get influencers onboarded, and there was clearly a need for a process. It was taking longer than you would typically want. And so what we wanted to do is, how do we make this effective with a consistent message, but also have it be growing somewhat on its own in this network? And I think we've done a great job. You've done a great job working with Scruffy to get that organized, get the processes in place. And now it's just about turning it on and executing. And so I think we're in a good position there to really scale. And influencer marketing is one of the most effective approaches in crypto, Web3 especially. So we got some phenomenal stuff coming there. I'm very excited about it. Okay. Everything that we're doing at this point, we're really trying to make sure that we can do it at scale, because that's how you really make an impact. And so that's been done quite well. That's why you have to spend the time focusing on the processes. All right. What's the last element?
So last but not least,
The last that we're covering.
Yeah, activating you, our community. So we want to get you more involved. We've got basically a public library of content that's in the works that we will share with you, empower you to create as much content as you want. It'll be gameplay videos, it'll be logos, it'll be fonts, images, music from Seven. Like, all of this stuff will be at your disposal. And we're going to run tons of contests.
From Seven. There's some hidden music as well, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. But yeah, we'll run contests, plenty of giveaways, all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And
so
all
like
that'll tie in.
The idea being, we've got the library broken down into shots from all over Toledo Valley Raceway, shots from the racetrack, shots from Solace that's available that we can use, that are at sunrise, magic hour, shots in broad daylight, shots at nighttime. It's broken into different categories. It's tagged in a way that's effective. And all of these broken down shots, some of them may have avatars, some may not. This is to really enable an editor to go in and create whatever they want. And so, like Matt said, we'll run contests, which is that's what I'm most excited about. See what you guys create together. We're really trying to empower you guys, our community, because we're all doing this together, right? So to really give you guys the tools that are high quality, you can go have fun with it, see what you come up with, and then we'll have cool prizes around it. So that's coming soon.
Sir.
Yeah, man, that's a big... Those 5 things can be very powerful for us. So
absolutely,
it's exciting, and that's just the beginning of what we have going with marketing. I'm thrilled with the move. Glad that you're in the position because you do have a big challenge to make us a household name in Web3. You've got until
Make it
May
happen.
1st.
Tuesday.
Oh, perfect. It's like I'm not going to be sleeping for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, no, you're in good shape. It's coming along really well. I'm glad you have a solid team to work with too, and everybody's committed. We're all on
Yep.
board, so excited to have you with
Absolutely.
us. And I believe it's time for some questions. Rob, you got any?
Oh, yeah, sure. Community questions. Let's do it. Question 1 from Genius Knights. Question: can we see more gameplay, new game content, so I can continue my dreaming?
Yes, absolutely. More gameplay is coming 100%. This year is all about delivery. We've got a lot of moving parts. As you may know, the Avatar creator is coming up. But when we have Solace 1, 2, and 3, the land plot selection there, that's going to have some gameplay element as well that will be coming very shortly afterwards. We've got a good foundation laid where content should start to come more and more quickly. So we're in a great shape to just continue to deliver. And we like to call ourselves a forever game, meaning there's always something new coming out. And the one thing I really want to emphasize to the community marketing wise, or one of the things, is our pace of delivery. Because that's something I'm incredibly proud of. Now, I realize a lot of you guys have waited for a long time on certain things, but the reality is when you put us up against even a ton of mainstream studios, we are effectively delivering. We're working at an incredible pace on cutting edge technology with Unreal Engine 5.3. So what we want you guys to see is that this regular monthly cadence where you have all sorts of new stuff. So yes, gameplay is coming, more gameplay all year long. Progression's coming, leaderboards are coming. Yeah, it's going to be a fun year.
So I have something on that which could be our leak for this week. But we can always chop it if it's not if it's not leak worthy.
Go ahead.
But we have currently planned Season X, and so Season X will happen this year. That will be when the Solaces have been released. When we're saving everything to the database, we will be rewarding people with Copi. You'll be competing against each other. We will open up the Cornucopias racing tracks. There will be another track coming. There's another leak within a leak. They will.
That's a leak.
There will be races in different classes.
Okay.
The top, I think it's the top 100 places will be receiving rewards, including the fastest lap. So that's 101 potential winners for Class A, 101 more winners for Class B of the vehicles, 101 more winners for Class C, and 101 more winners for Class S, because we will have a Class S. So that's just for racing within Season X. Season X will also have people competing for XP prizes. So this will be going around doing gathering, maybe doing some crafting, definitely doing some kind of raiding. We'll have a leaderboard for that, and so that will be probably another couple of 100 potential places that you can win on that. So Season X is going to be a really exciting event. It will happen this year. If I was to estimate, I would say Q3 stroke Q4 at the latest. Depends how much content we've got out there to make it really exciting. Because we don't want you just to go and collect holocaches, but that will be part of it. Question 2, okay, is from Faux Hubris of the Knights. More Knights. I hope we get a Mafia question at the end. So will there be some kind of dungeon system where groups can get together and play PvE, working together, strategies, maybe NPC generated quests? It's a very long question, but you get the idea. Will people be able to go on raids, play with the land, fishing, farming? That's the question. I think it's all about, have we got anything to do coming up?
I mean, I if I'll throw in my answer.
Yeah,
I mean,
go.
it's like, yes, to answer that question, there will be bad guys or monsters or whatever you want to call them. I'll just call it, to generalize it, there will be threat to your life. And that's going outside of the safe zone. So obviously, to succeed in our game, you're going to want to go explore and harvest and gather and mine. And you have to do that out in the danger zone. So there, of course, will be threat. Like, you could theoretically be chopping down a tree and a bear will attack you and you're going to die. So, there's going to be various levels of danger, and some of which you can handle by yourself, or some of which you will have to work as a team to tackle. So that's the most like exciting part of the game to me, is what happens outside the safety of your village or land plot.
Yeah, we've already seen hints of danger when people were in the mines. So we know deeper in the mines you go. We've heard noises. So we'll get to see what those mines that were in North Hill Mines, well, that now has evolved, and that will be that is moving over to Solace. So Solace 1, 2, and 3, they will have various mines in there. I don't know if they'll be on the first release of Solace 1, but by the time we get to Solace 2 or Solace 3, we will have that. Definitely by the time we have Season X, we will have mining in there as well. David's currently on holiday for a week or so, refreshing his brain. But when he comes back, Josh and myself have a plan that we're going to go through with him to see what we can deliver when Solace 1 comes out, because we don't just want it to be a walking simulator. We want not just a lot to explore, but lots of stuff within there as well. Especially now we've got the inventory system, we've got the abilities to pick up stuff, move around. We've got elements of dangers that can come. We know we're working on animals with an S. So yeah, I think there's lots to come in the short term, but in the long term, as in by Christmas, tons of stuff will come out every single release. So we got a little bit to come. Okay, well, this is from the original gangster. Actually, is from the Mafia question.
OG?
Yep. Is the team getting enough sun? Tans are lacking.
I
mean, we are in
getting
winter.
enough sun. How about, is the team getting enough sleep? Wow. How about, is the team getting enough stress reduction? No, we're not. We're not getting enough sun, but that's a great question. And thankfully it has been the winter, and sun is important for the health.
We know David and some of the team, they're on holiday. David might come back with a tan. I think he's going around Disneyland at the moment, so he'll be inspiring there. But I'm coming to consensus. So I've heard in May that Austin, I mean, I got a pretty good suntan last time I was there, even though I spent a lot of time in the hotel.
Yeah, it should be plenty hot for you when you get here.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll get our tan. But I mean, us UK people, we don't really tan. We just kind of turn to beetroots.
We're all in our dungeons, working on dungeons.
Yeah, working
for the game.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for you guys. Great episode, Matt. Thanks for joining us. What a leak! That's a great leak. I hope we get to keep it in. And thanks to all of you for watching and hanging in there with us. We got a lot more coming this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay with us. Thank you. Bye-bye.